Hello, my friends. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to those of you who have been taking the time to watch my creations. I really do appreciate it. I'm touched that people find what I do as entertaining as I find creating it. And if you do like what you're seeing, if you would be so kind and do me a solid, leave me a like if you would. If you would also follow me, that would be great. And if you would do me a super solid and subscribe, that would just be most wonderful. Alright, well, from me to you, brightest blessings, peeps. And again, from my heart, thank you for taking the time to check out what I do. It means a lot to me. Okay, bye for now. Hey guys, well, welcome back to El Rancho Grande, episode 12. Okie doodles. And you want me to put the lime in the what? Excuse me? Join me, won't you please? So where we left off last time, it was March, and that is where we are now. And March is going to be pretty much a kind of a maintenance thing. I got to do a bit of brain work in here and figure out what my next moves are going to be, what pardon me, what production chains I want to try and put into play that's going to benefit me the most for, the least amount of money per se. I am looking at Field 4. I'm really thinking it's a good idea. I can combine 4 with 3 and have one huge field. And if I was to, say, plant cotton in something that size, as you can see on the map here, 4 and 3 would be far bigger than Field 30 was, per se, right? So I would get at least 2.5 bales, maybe 3 bales, but 2.5 bales anyway of cotton. So that can be quite lucrative. And to boot, I can rotate the crop at my leisure, and I don't have to travel halfway across the map to do it, type of thing, right? So yeah, a lot of brain working going on, a lot of thinking what I'm gonna do next. I do want to do some bees. I just got to figure out where I'm gonna put them and whatnot. I was thinking if I bought Field 4, it being a fairly small field, that I could put the bees up in around there and plant something that would, that they'll like, canola, sunflowers, potatoes, kind of stay away from potatoes. They're kind of high maintenance, really. Maybe down the road, once I get pigs and stuff, I might. But the thing, too, you see with the pigs, if you're going to grow your own, well, then you got to cover 4 various food groups. Your root vegetables, your base foods, your grains, and your proteins. So that's 4 separate crops in 4 separate fields that you have to use strictly for feeding one group of livestock. And for me, I can buy a fully balanced pellet for the pigs, and it's got everything already there. It's not grievously expensive, and so you can go that route, and that just figures into your overhead for the first year and a half. And then once the pigs are up around $1,200 or whatever, you recoup that, right? It's a lot of overhead just to feed one animal, right? But anyway, as you can see, we have moved on into August here. Pardon me. Oh, half a sneeze coming there. We moved on into August. We did purchase Field 4. Field 3 has been planted. I put canola in Field 3, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. But yeah, so we've harvested the wheat field. I did the stone picking up over in Field 7, where our other wheat field is. And we're just going to do exactly the same in here, just kind of puttering around and getting things done. Grind is real, kiddies. The grind is real. But oh, excuse me, I am so sorry. Just tickle in the throat today. Where was I? Oh yeah, we're kind of doing the stones, right? Now, you'll remember the last time we did the stone picking. I took them into town and I sold them over at the debris crusher, over there. And then I was saying, well, I was thinking down the road, I might want to put a rock crusher on the property. So I was looking into that. Well, haven't I found something that's even better? It's part of a production chain, but it will facilitate opportunity for me to not only make lime, but various other things, fertilizers, herbicides, like that. So I'm seriously considering putting one of those in, and they're not a lot of overhead. It's like $5,000, and I think that's a good investment, because as you can see, I'm back down to $41,000 out of all that, but that's okay. So here we go. You can see in front I've got the beehives in. There's 10 beehives there. Now these bees will travel about 150 meters out, and that will, in that area, give that crop a boost. So what I'm going to do is take every other hive out of down here and move it up to the other end of this field, because believe it or not, as luck would have it, about the halfway point in that field is around 140, 150 meters, yeah? So I'm going to do that way the whole field gets covered in that, right? Now here's what I was talking about. If we go into construction and we go over to production and into factories, I do believe it should be. Yeah, right there, that's the one, production shed. Now if you look at that, look on the bottom, and that's all what you can do. So I can do the lime, I can do fertilizer, herbicide, manure, and I can make my own frickin' seeds. You gotta like it. And pretty much the only thing I've got to add over and above this is a water system to it. So far better than just having a rock crusher and then, have it just produce lime per se. This is just a godsend. I'm so glad I stumbled over it. So as you can see over here, remember we had the fermentation silo where the the production shed is now, and the white silo was where we have the fermentation. You remember that big lump, and I could not get rid of it, and it was bugging the snot out of me. So we put in a new silo over by the chickens. We emptied out the old one, sold that off, put in the new fermentation silos over here, and emptied the old one, sold it off, leveled the property, all except where that road meets where the old silo was, right? So try as I might, I could not get it to go. I lowered the ground around it, I raised the ground around it, nothing was working. So what I ended up doing was putting the fermentation silo literally right by the bump and just kind of cover it that way and reverse the grid, so instead of it being on the road, it comes out in the center as you see it now, right? So problem solved, yeah? See, no problems here on the ranch, only solutions. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're hooking up the water system for the lime for the production plant, right? So we've got a fast filling water tank already in place, and now what we're putting in is the water distributor, and that will automate the watering for me to my production chains. Right now, what it won't do, as I've said before, it will not do your livestock. If you have, say, a pasture of sheep and you need to bring them water and feed, if you put in a water distributor and go right on, it's done, no, it will not do that for you. Okay, it only does production chains, which fair enough, I'm all good with that. So of course what we're going to do now is we will get the tanker over here and we'll start filling her up with the water, and then we'll fill up the automated distributor, and God is willing and the creek don't rise, everything will be all cool and groovy, and we will be away to the races. I do think what I will do is once I get some water in the distributor, I will probably also put water into the production chain itself, just kind of like priming your pump, right? You know, get things going, get the line productions and stuff going, and hypothetically, as the water is needed, this water distributor should fill that. So we'll keep an eye on that and see. But yeah, I'm kind of liking what's happening here. You know, it's as I say, it's all baby steps. It's so hard for me not to rush. I want to take out loans from the bank, and I want to buy this, and I want to go there, and I want to just get huge fields and have 7 of this, and you know. But you gotta suck it back and keep it real, right? So that's very hard for me to do because I am not a patient man, as I've said in the past. But anyway, we've got this all kind of figured out here. So if we have a little look inside the production area itself, you can have a see here, right? So these are all the things that we can do. Now, I've got water in there already. The stones are in there already. So if you look at lime, it's already got 2,500 or 200, 500 some odd liters. So that's already away to the races. But if you look just below that and look on the graph here, I mean, I can make fertilizers, you know, with just adding manure and digested, or manure and slurry. I can make seeds, you know. I mean, this is just going to be such a godsend for me. So yeah, really looking forward to it. But for the now, people, I think I'm going to call it here. So as always, love and light, guys, you know, brightest blessings from me to you and from my heart, truly. Hey, go tell somebody you love them, yeah? Okay, bye for now.